We live in this world where men are constantly told that if you want a woman to love you, you've got to give, 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 buy her gifts, take her on trips, pay her bills, be her safety net, her provider, her everything. And while all of that might sound good on paper, here's the cold, hard truth. Women don't care about what you do for them. They are loyal to one thing and one thing only, and that's how you make them feel. Let's be real here. A woman doesn't stay because you bought her that shiny new phone. She doesn't stay because you took her to that fancy dinner or paid her rent for 6 months straight. She stays if being with you lights her up on the inside. If you tap into her emotions, her desire, her sense of connection, that's the loyalty switch right there. Think about it. You've seen guys who do everything right. They treat her like a queen, shower her with attention, bend over backwards to please her, and still she walks away. Why? Because the feeling wasn't there. She didn't feel excitement. She didn't feel desired. She didn't feel alive around him. You can do everything under the sun, but if she doesn't feel, she won't stay. Now flip the script. You've also seen women stick by men who don't spend a dime on them. No luxury vacations, no 5-star dinners, maybe not even a stable job yet. And still, she's loyal, she's obsessed. She's fighting for him, defending him, standing by his side. Why? Because the feeling is there. He gives her that spark. He makes her feel seen, understood, wanted. That emotional high is more addictive than any material gift you could possibly offer. And here's where so many men get it wrong. They think loyalty is purchased. They think love is a transaction, but loyalty isn't about the what, it's about the why. Women are emotional creatures. They are loyal to the way you enter their world and flip the lights on. That's what keeps her coming back. So what does this mean for you? It means stop focusing on doing and start focusing on being. Who are you when you show up in her life? Do you inspire her? Do you challenge her? Do you make her laugh so hard she forgets about everything else? Do you stir something deep her that makes her crave being around you? That's where her loyalty lives. Not in the dinners, not in the gifts, not in the money, but in the emotional state you awaken inside her. Here's the harsh reality. If she's with you just because of what you do for her, then she's not with you. She's with the benefits. And the second someone else comes along offering a bigger, shinier package, she's gone. But if she's loyal to the way you make her feel, then she's not comparing you to anyone else. You're the source. You're the drug. You're the one thing she doesn't want to lose. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. Stop trying to buy her loyalty. Start creating it. Women don't care about what you do. They care about how you make them feel. That's the one thing they're truly loyal to. Here's the thing. Nobody wants to say out loud, women are not loyal to what you do for them. They're loyal to how you make them feel. And yeah, I know that probably stings a little if you're the type who thinks pulling out your wallet, sending her flowers every week, or bending over backward to prove your love is what's gonna lock her down. But let's get brutally honest here. That stuff might impress her for a moment, but it doesn't anchor her loyalty. What does? Emotions. That's the game changer. Think about the guys who play the role of perfect gentlemen. They check all the boxes: attentive, generous, supportive, sweet. And what happens? A lot of times she leaves, not because he was a bad guy, but because she didn't feel anything. No spark, no fire, no pulse-pounding excitement that made her crave being near him. He did everything right, but he failed at the one thing that matters most, creating emotion. Now, flip at that. Look at the women who stay loyal to guys who don't do half of those things. Maybe he doesn't have money. Maybe he's not spoiling her with expensive gifts. Maybe he's not even that conventionally perfect boyfriend type. But she's hooked. She's defending him to her friends. She's standing by him when things get messy. She's fighting for him even when people tell her she could do better. Why? Because he makes her feel something. He taps into her emotions. Excitement, desire, connection. Those are the currencies women can't walk away from. And listen, this isn't about manipulation. It's not about playing games or tricking her into falling for you. It's about understanding reality. Women are driven by emotions more than anything else. Loyalty doesn't come from logic, it doesn't come from transactions, and it doesn't come from material security. It comes from the way you light her up inside. Here's a tough pill to swallow. If a woman is only with you because of what you do, she's not really with you. She's with the benefits. That's why you see women jump ship the moment someone else offers a bigger, shinier package. If her loyalty is tied to the perks, then it's conditional. But when her loyalty is tied to how you make her feel, it's unconditional. You become her safe place, her addiction, her home. That's the kind of loyalty no amount of money can buy. Let me give you an example. A man might take a woman on lavish vacations, buy her designer bags, and shower her with everything she wants, and maybe she's grateful, maybe she even likes him for it. But the second she's sitting alone in her apartment scrolling through her phone and that little voice inside her says, "Something's missing, it's over," she's gone emotionally even if she hasn't walked away physically yet. On the other hand, a man could take her on a walk through the park, tell her a story that makes her laugh until she cries, or share a vulnerable moment that makes her feel deeply connected. That simple moment of emotion outweighs 10 expensive dinners. Because when she remembers him, she doesn't remember the bill. She remembers the feeling. This is why so many men get frustrated. They're out here asking, why did she leave me after everything I did for her? But the question should be, how did she feel when she was with me? If the answer isn't passion, excitement, joy, intimacy, or connection, then it doesn't matter what you did. Her heart isn't wired to stay loyal to actions, it's wired to stay loyal to feelings. So, here's the shift you need to make. Stop obsessing over what you can do for her and start asking yourself who you are when you're with her. Are you confident? Are you playful? Do you bring out her fun side? Do you spark her curiosity? Do you make her feel like the most alive, most magnetic version of herself? Because that's what she'll remember when she lays her head on the pillow at night. Not the dinner you bought, not the car you drive, not the text that said good morning, but the way she felt being with you. And this is the core truth. Women don't care about the checklist of things you provide. They care about the story their emotions tell them when they're around you. If that story is exciting, inspiring, and intoxicating, her loyalty is unshakable. If that story is flat, boring, or transactional, she'll drift, no matter how much you give. So the next time you think about winning her over, don't ask, what can I do for her? Ask, what does she feel when she's with me? Because that's where her loyalty begins and ends. Loyalty can't be purchased. It has to be created. And this is where so many people get love completely twisted. They think if they stack up enough good deeds, enough gifts, enough sacrifices, they'll earn someone's loyalty. But that's not how it works. You can't swipe your card and buy it at the register, and you can't bribe someone into staying. Loyalty isn't a transaction, it's an experience. Here's the harsh reality. If she's only sticking around because of what you're giving her, then she's not loyal to you. She's loyal to the benefits, and the second those benefits run out or someone else comes along offering a shinier deal, she's gone. It's brutal, but it's true. If loyalty is built on what you're doing for her instead of who you are with her, then it's temporary. But when you create loyalty, that's a whole different story. Created loyalty comes from the way you show up in her life, the energy you bring, the spark you ignite, the vibe that makes her feel like you're not just another guy, you're the guy. That's the stuff that can't be copied, can't be replaced, and definitely can't be bought. Think about it like this. A woman can find 10 men willing to take her to dinner, she can find 10 more who'll send her flowers, and another dozen who'll text her good morning every single day. None of that makes you stand out. But if you're the one who makes her laugh until her stomach hurts, if you're the one who makes her feel desired in a way that shakes her up, if you're the one who sees parts of her nobody else notices, that's where loyalty is born. Because you're not just doing what anyone else could do, you're creating a feeling that only you can give her. Let me put it another way. Loyalty grows from experiences that stick to her soul, not just her memory. When she thinks of you, she doesn't replay the dinners or the gifts, she replays the way her chest tightened when you pulled her in close. She replays the rush she felt when you looked her dead in the eyes and made her feel like the only person in the room. She replays the comfort of knowing she could spill her heart to you and you wouldn't judge. That's the glue. That's the loyalty you can't buy. And this is where so many men mess up. They confuse effort with impact. They think effort alone should be enough. I did this, I gave that, I sacrificed this much. Why isn't she loyal? Because loyalty doesn't respond to the checklist of what you do. It responds to the deeper question, how do you make her feel when you're together? Do you challenge her? Inspire her? Unlock her playful side? Or are you just going through the motions, hoping your effort will cash out as loyalty points? Here's another truth bomb. Loyalty that's purchased is fragile. It breaks the moment something shifts. Lose the job, stop spoiling her, suddenly have less time or energy to do all the things you used to. If her loyalty was built on that, it evaporates instantly. But loyalty that's created, that's rooted in who you are, not what you provide, that loyalty survives the storms. That's the kind of loyalty where she looks at you and says, I don't care what happens, I'm not leaving. So how do you create that? You create it by being intentional, by being present, by showing her sides of yourself that go beyond surface level gestures. Bring humor, bring passion, bring depth. Show her that being with you isn't just convenient, it's unforgettable. That's the difference between being the guy she settles for because of what you offer and being the guy she's addicted to because of how you make her feel alive. And look, it's not about being perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to throw money at the problem or work yourself into exhaustion to prove your worth. The loyalty that lasts isn't born out of perfection, it's born out of authenticity. When she feels that raw, real connection with you, when she sees that you're not just trying to buy her time, but actually sharing yourself with her, that's when loyalty locks in. At the end of the day, you can't control whether someone chooses to be loyal, but you can control what you bring to the table. And if what you bring is depth, energy, emotion, and authenticity, then you give her something money can't touch. You give her an experience that no one else can replicate. That's how loyalty is created. Not with your wallet, not with your checklist, but with the unique way you make her life feel different, better, unforgettable. So stop trying to buy her loyalty. You'll always lose that game. Start creating it instead, because when loyalty is created, it doesn't leave when the perks disappear. It stays, because you are the perk.